I'm back from New Hampshire. I've been home for a few days and I've been wanting to share these videos, and yet I haven't put it all together. I went on a bunch of hikes while I was there, and they were shorter hikes. I did do some shorts, so you may have seen these videos already, but I'm going to drop them in one at a time and share with you my experience there. It began the day that we drove to New Hampshire. After that first night in New Hampshire, we ventured out and we did 2 hikes the following day. The weather was iffy, and so we did a morning hike to Georgiana Falls. And then we did an afternoon hike that was around Lonesome Lake. And I've been to Lonesome Lake a few times. I can't tell you when. I think I actually went to Lonesome Lake. Actually, I know I did, on my flip. So when I flipped up to Katahdin in July of last year. So it was amazing because it was almost the same time. And what was really, really cool is while I was there, I was staying in an Airbnb that was basically neighbors with the hostel that I stayed at. I stayed at the Old Country Ski Lodge. And so as I'm driving into town, seeing Woodstock, which is where I stayed, I could see the Woodstock Brewery, which was where I ate, and I can remember the meal that I ate, and then the flowers and the pictures I took. I could remember it all. There was a place that I don't remember the name of that, but I do remember they gave out free beer for thru-hikers, and so it was just really neat to be in that environment and have all of these memories pop up. And I was going to go over to the hostel, and I didn't. We had so many things going on. So anyway, second hike we did was around Lonesome Lake. And since I'd been there a few times, I do remember sitting there on the dock and talking to people before I jumped up that were actually on their northbound journey. And that was pretty cool because I knew I'd be coming back through on my southbound journey. And then I did that as well. So the day that we went to Lonesome Lake on this particular trip was really foggy and there were absolutely no views, but that's okay because I'd seen them before and it was still beautiful. And we went up to the, oh gosh, my brain, to the place that you go that you can stay at, the lodge. No, that's not what it's called, but you know what I mean. Anyway, and they had food and they had this amazing coconut cake. It was so good. So I was able to enjoy that and just reminisce on those times that it's a hut that I was going through and going to all the different huts and then partaking in either leftover breakfast that thru-hikers got to eat for free once the hut people left. And then also the delicious, mostly brownies and cookies and cakes. And I'll take it. In this particular lodge, I remember going to and getting that leftover breakfast. And then I think they had bread that they let us stash in our packs and take with us. I can't remember for sure, but I think that's what it was. So it was just so fun to have all those memories flood back in.
Are we gonna just go around?
Yeah. Cool. I mean, it's lost today, isn't it? Is that what you're talking about? Did they move? But I was like, where?
And day 2, we did a 4,000 footer. We did Mount Kearsarge, and I had been there before. I'd been to the fire tower. I have actually been to the fire tower at least 2 times. One time for sure was in the winter, and I think one was in the fall, but I'm not sure. And so yeah, it was a great hike. The most amazing part of this trip was that I felt good. I felt good. My knees felt good. I did not carry trekking poles because of my shoulders, but my shoulders felt good. I felt strong. I felt like I still had my hiker legs, which trail legs, whatever, is, it was amazing. And it just made me feel great. I remember struggling so hard when I was in New Hampshire last year. And I just was very grateful to feel good in my body. And the last hike we did was the Zealand Hut Trail, and I'd been there too. And that is an easier trail. Actually, this particular section of the AT that we were on, my friends came to visit me, and I remember that day. And it was so wet and the water levels were high, but while we were there this weekend, it wasn't. And so there's a lot of bog boards, and it just brought all these memories back of Maine, because at this point last year, I was in Maine, and I remember not liking Maine. In fact, it's popping up on my Facebook memories. Some really cool things going on, and I'll tell you about those after you see this.
Oh yeah, super fast, and then he came back and we were.
And so the weekend was great. It just enlivened me. Although I did feel physically amazing while I was out on trail, like I had never thru-hiked the Appalachian Trail, and I was back to myself. A couple of days after, when I got home, my knees were lit up, my shoulder was bothering me again, and so reality hit kind of big time. But it was good. I really needed that. I've mentioned before that I haven't really been out on trail very often. I've only done a few long extended day hikes and 2 backpacking trips since last year. It has almost been a year since I got off trail, and that's hitting pretty hard right now. I would say in this reflection period of getting back out there on the AT, seeing some familiar sights, and then starting to pay attention to the Facebook memories and things that are popping up. I can see how far I've come. It seems like forever ago and yesterday all at the same time. I long to get back out there, and yet I'm physically not ready. I've mentioned my surgeries in October. before surgery. I'm really excited. I actually got to see Gretchen, my trail angel. So when I was going northbound, I met Gretchen in Pennsylvania, and then I stayed with her when I was going southbound. And she invited me to go with a group of women to Bulgaria and Greece, and we're going on this amazing adventure. I'll put a couple of links in the description below so you can see what I'm doing, and it'll be 3 weeks. So my focus is to make sure that my shoulders and my knees get me there in time, which means that, or at least last. And that means that I'm not doing a whole lot. I have pulled back on some of the physical activities that I'm doing. I'm not doing a lot of biking anymore, saving my knee. I am walking every day, but I'm not carrying a big pack. I'm carrying a day pack. I have even cut back on some of the therapy exercises that I'm doing for the upper body because they tend to light up this arm. And I'm really just holding off until I can get through that trip and then come into surgery. And reality is surfacing. I really need surgery. Just the little things make it worse. And so I want to get that taken care of as soon as possible. And then I'll be back. I'll definitely be back. I didn't think I was going to ever be back. In fact, when I finished the trail, I hated the trail. And then recovery was weird. It was so weird to come off the trail and then jump to Bali and then be back in this unknown body of pain and limited ability, and then the mental stuff, and then the life stuff. And I'm still dealing with that. I'm still in this limbo period of trying to live a minimalistic life. I'm trying to live a trail life in society. And it's so hard. So hard. Not only is it hard because society, and I don't mean that in a derogatory term, I just mean, in day-to-day stuff, there's this feeling that you need to get back into it, and I don't want to, but part of me needs to, because I want to be around people and do the things, and so I need a little bit of money to do the things, and I don't have any, and yet I have everything that I need. And so, yeah, I'm still struggling with that life after the trail, and the experience of being on trail and then trying to recreate my life. I know a lot of people go through that, and I don't have it figured out yet. I don't know. I just don't know. So I am hopefully going to be inspired, or something's going to happen. And I'm okay with that. I think so much of my life I tried to make things happen. I was goal oriented. I was focused. I knew where I was headed. And step by step I got there. I had so much willpower and so much drive and determination. And now I'm like, just show me the way. Just tell me what my next step is, and I will head there, and then I will see what happens next. And I think that's the beauty of the life lessons of the trail. It's just to the next blaze. And I remember that. I remember being on trail and thinking, just get to the next blaze, get to the next shelter, get to the next water source, get to the top of the next mountain, whatever it was the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. And so I'm really trying to hold on to that now in my day-to-day stuff. And it's easy to forget. It's easy to forget all of the things. And yet there's certain aspects of the trail I'm still doing. And I love that. And I'm very proud of it. And so simple things like just not needing anything and not caring about things. And I remember going into towns, and you just eat whatever you can find, and you're happy with those things. And my life pre-trail was so regimented and scheduled and dialed in, and the trail threw it all out. And I knew it was going to, and I let it happen, and I'm glad I let it happen. And now I'm holding on to that because it's so much more fun. Life can be an adventure. You don't have to hike the Appalachian Trail. You can let life take you, blaze by blaze, just lead you forward. So until next time.